Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. And before we start our session this morning, so I wanted to highlight certain of the information that I want to give you regarding uh, the outline of this morning session. So basically, I want to give you some tutorial regarding the last topic, which is on the operator and expressions. And hopefully, it's not at the end of the what we call the sessions that we will have on this semester. And I will go through regarding the exercise, sample codes, and so on, and for the next following lecture or lab session. Okay, so before we start our session today, this morning, there are certain things that I want to highlight here. Okay, if you know this guy, okay, is a late Professor Ungku Aziz, which is died in the age of 93, I think so. Sorry, 98. Okay, so he was born in 1922 and he was died last 15 December 2020. And what does this guy say is there are 5 elements because this guy is more on the students. You are close to the students, and there are 5 things that this guy highlight, and 5 elements what should student manage in order to be a good student. Okay, so this guy highlight 5 elements. Okay, so for the first one here is health, kesehatan. So you need to make sure that your health is good, the condition is good. Okay, and if you got sick, immediately go to the clinic or hospital or whatever and so on in order to, because in a good health, and then you will get a good knowledge. So you can absorb the knowledge very well. So the second element is the time. The student should manage your time. And I think that this is very important due to the COVID situation right now. So you should manage your time. Okay. So you are given the time slot in your uh, study time schedule. Okay. Right now, today you will have a lab session and so on. So you will be in these sessions. Okay. So later, whatever I give you some kind of exercise, tutorial or survey and so on, and you don't have any what's called only one subject this semester. You will have multiple of subject. Let's say you have 6 to 5 subjects that you need to manage. So of course you need to manage your time properly. So the third part here is the stress. Okay, whenever you got stress, you should manage your stress carefully. Don't be stressful. Okay, whenever you got stress regarding your study, take a 5 to 10 minutes a nap. Try to sleep, close your eyes and so on, or we just take a deep breath and so on. So there are a lot of things that we can do in order to manage our stress. Okay, the thing is, for example, mine, I going to sleep. If I got stress and so on. So I got stress, I just close my laptop, go some walking, leisure walking and so on, drive a car and so on. So release the stress. Okay, so you should manage your stress. Some people have different kind of the methods in order to manage their own stress. The first one is the sport or exercise. This is very important as well because the sport and exercise will reflect with the health, kesehatan. And the last one here is you should have your own study methods. So meaning that trying to identify the best method for you to study. Okay, the method for each subject may varies, may be different. For example, I'll give you some example. So this subject is more on the problem solving and there are little bit on the what you call technical part that you need to do some codings. Okay. So the best method for the programming is you need to do a lot of exercise. That's it. Okay. So if you stuck in some kind of exercise, You may have refer to the instructor, refer to your own group members and so on in order to try to get the solution for it. Okay, so this is the 5 elements that students should manage in order to be a good student. Okay, so this one is not come from me. This one is come from this guy. Okay, it's late Professor Engku Aziz, which is one of the scholars in Malaysia and bring come to things about uh, very close to the student. Okay, so that is part of the 5 minutes reflections before we start our lab session today. All right, so we back on our focus on this lab session, which is I want to cover a little bit on the tutorial, especially for the last topic, which is on the expressions, sorry, operator and expression. Okay, so I don't want to go very detailed on the slide. Okay, so I want to give you straightforward to what kind of the samples that we can do for each of the parts in the chapter 9, which is on the operator and expressions. Okay, so before this, in the previous lecture, I already told you regarding these two subtopic, which is operator and expression, right? Okay, so in the WhatsApp group, I share several links, okay, regarding the sample code in Replit, starting from our previous lecture on basic in C, which is on a hello world, variable, okay, escape sequence, and then we talk about regarding input and output as well, and how we can do input for different kind of data type, which are integer, float, character, multiple of character, and so on. So this morning, I would like to give you some instructions, special tutorial on how we can manage for operators and also expressions. Okay, so this topic is basically straightforward, and I want to highlight 3 things in this topic, which are prefix and postfix. Okay, I don't want to go detail regarding this one. I just to go straightforward to the tutorial because the notes are already given in the slide. And then we go for the operators. And the last one, we go for the assignment operators. So you may click on this link in order to see about prefix and postfix, operator, and also assignment operator. Just go straight forward to the link given here. Okay, for operator and expression. So I want to go for the prefix and also postfix first. Okay, so prefix and postfix are the important parts in the programming. If you still remember regarding the incrementation, which is will be increment by 1, okay, so this part will reflect on that particular section, incrementing. Okay, so what is prefix and what is postfix actually? So based on the description that I give in this replit here, and I just copy this one from the slide because I don't want to have a different kind of meaning. So prefix means that we want to increment the value of one variable, which is I put here I, and then we return it. So basically, if you don't have any programming background for this one, you may thinking about what are the differences between plus plus I and also I plus plus here. It looks similar, yeah? But in reality, they have differences. Okay. So plus plus I is we call as a prefix, meaning that we put the operator first before we put a variable here. Okay, so later we're gonna see in terms of the implementations, how these two prefix and postfix could be different. Second one here is a postfix. So postfix here will return the operand first because we put the operand here, and then only we increment it because we have the operator right after the operand. So we have one variable here, and then we call it as one as a operand. And we have an operator here, plus plus. Either we can use plus plus, a minus minus. It can be used in here. Okay. So the thing is that how we can identify the process for each prefix and also postfix. So below here, I give you some one statement, several statements for each of the prefix and also postfix. Let's say I want to highlight here is on the prefix. Sorry, I have one variable which is integer data type. Okay, this one in other words we call it one as a identifier of variable I that stand for the integer data type. And the value for this identifier variable I, we assign as a value of 10. So we initiate a value of I here equal to 10. So for prefix here, I can say that we calculate the value of I by 1 plus 1 first before we do display functions. Right now here, so you may thinking value of I when using plus plus I is it 10 or is it 11? So whenever I run the program, okay, I run the program here, I got an output. Okay, this one is a normal output. So line number 13 here reflects to this line. So the value of I when using plus plus I is 11. So what is happening here? Okay, before we print out the output of this line, in the back end of the process by using the prefix, it will do the calculation first before it display the output. So that's why, so with plus plus I here, okay, it will calculate, it will return the value of I after the calculations. Okay, and then we got output of 11. Let's imagine that we have what we call 10 plus 1, and then 10 plus 1 is equal to 11, of course, right? Okay, so what the prefix do here, it will calculate first before display the output here. So the second line here in line 14, now value of I is 11. It still remain 11 here because you already do the calculations by using the prefix here. So right now here, the value of I here is 11. And line in number 14 here is still 11 because you retrieve the current value of I after the calculations. So what is the difference between postfix? Let's say I have another variable, identifier of variable j, that stands for data type integer, and the value of j is equal to 10. Okay, so I'm using the same value as I here equal to 10 and j equal to 10 as well because I want to do some comparison. What will be happen if we are using postfix and also prefix? So right now I want to highlight here on the postfix, which is starting from line 16 until line 19. Okay, try to highlight here, this one. Value of j when using j plus plus is, okay, this is the calculations. Okay, this one is just straightforward, is the output. Percent here is a modifier of that kind of the variable. Okay, what is the value of the variable? This is the value is variable after we do some calculations. So in postfix, okay, in postfix, value of j when using j plus plus is 10. We still got 10 here. Why? Because we put the operator is right after the operand. Can you see here? The plus plus is right after the value of j. So meaning that we stop until here. When we do the printf, it will printf what is the current value of j. It's still j before it do the calculations. So the calculation is right after we print out the output of line 18. So this is what is happening here. And we have a line number 19 here. Now, your value of j is 11. It's not 10 anymore because behind here, whenever the compiler of C program here read line number 18 and end up here, okay, so it will print out this line first. So that's why the current value of j is still 10 because operator is right after the end of the variable of j. So here your j, whenever if let's say we already print out something here and then we have something here, okay, so your program will do calculation for it, 10 plus 1, some kind of it. So that's why in line number 20 here is previously line number 19. So your value of current j is equal to 11. So not 10 anymore. Okay. So this is the differences between prefix and also postfix. Right now, so how we need to use this kind of the prefix and other postfix here. So normally you will see instead of plus plus I, you will frequently found out about regarding the I plus plus or J plus plus, which is the postfix statement. Okay, these two. So remember that regarding this one, because we're gonna use these incrementations, okay, postfix, especially postfix in looping. Okay? In looping. For example, uh, let's say integer x equal to 0, okay, or I equal, sorry, x equal to 0, let's say 1, x equal less than some kind of condition. Let's say I put here 5. And the last statement will be, let's say, x plus plus. Okay, so I just want to give you where is the implementation of postfix here. So it can be used in the looping. Let's say, for example, I have a looping here. Even though you're not going to the looping, what you call the programming part in the looping in this syllabus, you will see this in the next syllabus, in the next subject, which is a programming technique. Okay, so this kind of the thing is one of the loopings. Okay, x equal to 0, initializations, x equal less than 5 is the conditions for the looping here. It will repeat 5 times. X plus plus here is the incrementation. Okay, so what is happening here? So if we look on the decrementation is x equal to 0 first, and then it will check either your current x here is less than 5 or not. So current value here is x is equal to 0. So 0 is less than 5. Of course, it's true. Then it will do the looping. So let's say there is a some statement here I want to do looping here. Let's say value of x equal to some kind of thing here, stand b, and I want to display this value in the looping slash n slash n. Let's say for example, and I want to comment this statement. I want to print out this one. I just want to print out this only. Okay, what can you see here? The value of x equal to 0. Value of x is equal to 1. Because of what? So whenever we end this program, the program will end this line 26 here. It will do the incrementation by using the postfix. So current value here will be 0, but whenever we do some incrementation, will be plus 1, is equal to 1. So your current value of x is equal to 1. Right now, do the checking. 1 less than 5. True again until it keep repeating. The current value of x equal to 4 is still true. Repeat again. Update this value of x. 4 plus 1 equal to 5. 5 is not less than 5. And then it will end at the process of the looping. So this is what we call the usage of postfix in the looping. So hopefully you understand regarding the differences between prefix and also postfix. So until this part, I think that this one is very straightforward. And what you need to do is that you can click on the link that I give in the WhatsApp group. This one, prefix and postfix. You play around with the code that I have give in the replit. Okay. So you may create your own account. And you create your own account, and then you can copy. You can click on the fork. What we call this one is there is one function in this replit that you can copy directly to your own repository of replit, and then you can do some adjustment. It's one without any changes in the original file that I have in here. Okay. So we go for the next part here, which is on the operator. And I don't think operator is very critical because you already took mathematics, and hopefully you can present the mathematical formula into the programming. Okay. So just go straight forward on the operator. Okay. So in this part, we call it a binary operator, or we want to look on the order of the predecessors. Which part is the priority? So based on the priority level in the mathematical, so we have this kind of the level. So which statement will be implemented if we have this kind of parentheses? Okay, we have plus plus or minus minus, they reflect to the postfix or prefix and so on. multiple, divide, and modulus. Hopefully you still remember this one. What is modulus? So if you forgot regarding the modulus, try to Google it, what is modulus, and how we can do the modulus operator in the programming. And the last level here is plus and minus. So I have some samples here in a very simple formula for calculations. And we try to look on the actually which operator will be implemented, and then we want to present this one in the programming. So let's say I have two formula here, okay? And then firstly, I have three variables, and there is a value for each variable, which are A equal to 5, B equal to 15, and C equal to 3. I have two formulas, okay? Parenthesis A plus B minus C equal to something. And the second one here is B minus parenthesis A plus B. So based on the order of precedence here, so the first formula, you need to identify that which operand that have the highest priority. So of course, if you don't have any parentheses in the first statement here, okay, A plus B minus C, so this formula will have the same level. Okay, if we don't have any parentheses, but we have a parenthesis here, A plus B will be calculated because it belongs to the highest level of precedence. So now we need to calculate A plus B. A is 5 plus B is 15 equal to 20. So 20 minus C, C is 3. That's why we have this output is equal to 17. And this one, if you still remember, the hierarchy of operations that we do some kind of a graph, something like that, and then we have some outputs based on the levels here, order of precedence. So similar things in the second formula here, which is B minus parenthesis A plus C. We don't do the B minus first, okay? We will do calculation for A plus C, which is A is 5, B is 15, is equal to 20, okay? Sorry, A plus C. A is 5, C equal to 3, which is 8. So 15 belongs to variable B. Right now here is 15 minus 8. That's why we have the output of 7 here. So what about the other operators, which is that we have some kind of, let's say, I want to have here integer total. Total equal to 5 multiplied by A multiplied by 3. Okay, so based on these calculations, can you try to identify what is the output for this formula if you have this kind of the mathematics? So you need to identify, of course, plus multiple here is the highest level as well. Okay, but you need to know that the parenthesis here is the highest level, is the first one that will be implemented, even though you have the multiply operator in this formula. So let's say we want to print out this output. Okay, printf, and I just want to copy this one for the output. Okay, sorry. Okay, so anything that will be inside this double quote here will be print out. Okay, it's just like a normal text equal to percent %d. Remember that percent %d is the modifier of certain variable. So which variable that we want to display? Total. Okay. So let's say here, we run the program. We can run. Right. So we have the output of 75. So 75 here is the output after we do this calculation. Let's say we do the manual process. If we do 5, okay. So right now, a plus, a multiplied by 3. So a here is 15. Okay. So that's why we have 5 multiplied by 15 is equal to 75. It's not doing like 5 multiplied by 5 first is equal to 25. And then 25 multiplied by 3. It will give different result. So this one, is it will refer to the same output? Okay, let's see. I'm using the same output here, I think so. Still 75 because of what? We are giving the same output for this one. They say we are using different one. Okay, so this part is we still got the same output because of what? Because we have multiplication for all of this one. Okay, this is of course multiplications. This one also multiplication. Let's say we don't want to do have multiplication. We have plus here. Plus. Okay, we try to run the program. It's 20. Okay, it's 20. So if you don't want to have this parenthesis, let's say we don't have any parenthesis, you still get the same output. Cell is 20 because a multiplied by 3 considered as the highest level compared to the plus operator, even though we have this parenthesis. Okay, even though we have this parenthesis. So I think that this one is not very critical for you to understand because this one is more on the mathematics. And then we want to present the formula in the programming. Okay, so we move for the last one here, which is the assignment operator. Okay, so if you have a laptop in front of you, you can click on the link that I given in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so you go for the last one here is on the assignment operator. Okay, so assignment operator here, example of it is something like a very simple one is here integer total equal to 5. Float salary equal to 120 cents, something like that. Character name equal to, let's say my name here. Okay, so this is what we call as assignment operator. Assignment equal to 5 equal to something here we call as assignment. So that's another thing that in this programming, okay, it's not only C programming, so, but this one can be applied in any programming languages. C++ can be implemented by using this one as well. This one is a normal assignment. Okay, so this is another assignment that we do the we want to make it simple in order to represent calculations. Instead of we represent the calculations total equal to total plus 100 here, we can represent a total formula by using a short form of this one, a short form assignment operation. Total plus equal 100. This one also have the same output if you are using a normal calculation like this one. Total equal to total plus 100. Let's say the initial value of total is equal to 5. So right now, when we do the calculation in the programming here, it will do whatever in the left side first. So what is the left side? So left side is this one. So it will do the calculation first in this part. So total is 5 plus 100. You will have the output 105. 105 right now will update the current value of 5, that will be 105. So your current value of total here is not 5 anymore, but it's already updated into 105 because we have this kind of the statement of calculations. Similar things if we have a minus here. This one also refer to the same things. Total equal to total minus 50. So this is what is the meaning of this statement. So I try to run the program, want to see the output of it. Now we have the output result of total plus minus equal to 100 here is 105. And then we have another short assignment operator by using minus here. Total minus equal is 50. And then we have the output of minus 45. So what is happening here? Your total here is 5 equal minus 50, and this one will be 45. 45 will update the current value of total, which is previously is 5, and right now will become 45. It does not become 4 anymore. Imagine that you are replacing, okay, you are erasing the previous value, and it will replace the previous value with the current value after we do the calculations. So this is the purpose of it. And I want to give you one example how we can use this kind of the operator in order to calculate a total of numbers, something like that. Okay, by using the for loopings. Okay, even though I'm not teaching a for looping yet in this subject, just I want to highlight the purpose of it in the programming. I want to declare one variable. I want to comment this one. Okay, let's say I name the variable as I. Okay, and I have a statement for looping I equal to 0. And we need to initialize the value for I first. I is less than 5, for example. I plus plus, remember that this one is the postfix operator. And this looping, I want to calculate the total numbers, which is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 and plus 4. I will have 4 numbers. Sorry, I have 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I want to count it all together to become a total. Okay. So I need to have another variable here is sum, and must be equal to 0 because we want to get the product of the addition after we do the calculations. So sum equal to sum as 1. I want to do this kind of the things here. So instead of 1 here, I want to use I. I want to use I here. Okay. So what is happening inside here essentially? So sum here is still 0. Okay. Equal to 0 plus your current I here is still 0. And now this one. So this is what's happening here. So the first looping will print out the value of 0. Again, the value of summation 0. Okay. You want to prove it? Say sum. Okay. I want to make it like first iterations and the sum equal to %b. I need to have I plus 1 sum. Okay. So don't worry if you don't understand this code. Run the program. Okay. So I want to give you some idea the purpose of the what we call the short assignment operator. So this one we call as the calculations in order to sum up to added up all the numbers 0 0 plus 1. Okay. And then we do the calculation again and so on. So what is happening here right now? So your sum is equal to 0. Okay, it's still 0, and this one will be first iteration. Okay, first iteration. Okay, let's say it will keep continuing again, continue again. So sum here is still 0, equal to 0 is 0 plus right now your I is 1. So that's why this iteration, I don't put iterations here. Iteration 1 2 3 4 5. Second iteration 1. This one is equal to 0 until then and so on. It will keep updating the value of sum with the current what we call the assignments calculations here. Instead of by using this one, okay, we can represent it in terms of the simple version sum plus equal I, straightforward like that. Okay, there is no wrong if you are using this one or this one, but programmer like to do there's some kind of a simple things in the program. They want to reduce the numbers of character, the number of line in the programming. So that's why the developer of programming, they have some kind of this idea. Run the output, you still got the same output if you are using the normal version of calculation. Okay, so far, do you have any question regarding this one? So if you have any questions, so you may raise up your hand in the chatting, or you can type in the chatting message that we have in the Google Meet here. So I will try to go through if you have any questions. Okay. I think there is no question from students here. Okay. Right now, I have a very simple code that represent the subject registrations. Okay. So as your own exercise, and then I will create a summation for this simple exercise. I want you to complete this code. Okay, I want you to complete this code that reflects to the our chapter 7 and 8. Okay, is for the variable declarations and also input and output. So you may have your own input like this one. Okay, let's say I give a simple input. Okay, a sample input for this kind of program. I have Samir Osman. This is the ID, the code, and also subject name. So I want to make it a complete program for this one by having the key in input. So in this sample program, it doesn't have any input. It's only have the display to prompt the user to enter username without any entering some kind of thing. So when I run the program here, it looks like this one. Enter student name, enter student ID, enter student code, and enter subject name without any prompt user to key in the data. So your task right now, okay, so you may do later on. I want you to complete this code for the sake for chapter 7 and chapter 7, chapter 8, and also chapter 9. So you may try to Google up, you will face some kind of the problem here. I want to make it, so that's why this subject we call as a problem solving. I want you to try to solve the problem. I give you the problem here. Okay, let's say I have problem. I don't know how to complete this code. I don't know how to make it to user to key in the data and then display again what are the data that I key in just now. Okay, something like that. Okay, so I will give this one in the WhatsApp group and I will share this link in the WhatsApp group and you need to complete this one. Okay, I will give you around maybe 1 to 2 weeks to find out the answer for this one. Okay, I will come back this one after 1 week.